Located in one of the most iconic sites in London, the Shard, the Shangri-La London has always been one of the hotels on my bucket list if I ever have a chance to travel to the city. Now that I've immigrated to the UK and before I have secured a place to rent, I would definitely jump at this opportunity. But does it live up to its hype as one of the most iconic hotels in London? And more important, has it got the wow factor to justify its lofty price even for London 5-star hotel standard? Well, sadly, if you're expecting something as bling-bling style as the iconic structure of the Shard, you would probably be disappointed, as once you pass through the very James Bond-like security back surge, the place would not be mistaken as another Shangri-La property, which is, what should I say, I can't say it's old, but perhaps stated luxury might be a better description. This is quite an anticlimax to me, as you would have expected Shangri-La to try something out of the box to match the structure, but sadly no. Perhaps the only wow factor that I experienced is the hotel's BMW i7 airport transfer, which is the electric version of the BMW 7 Series in case you're not a car fan. My stay in Shangri-La has two parts, which is caused by my extremely disastrous experience at the Mandarin Oriental High Park. I was so bothered by the road noise of Knightsbridge that I have to check out immediately and book this hotel again. The room in part 1 of my stay is a premier shop room. While you may query my choice of choosing a room with such a mundane view of London's suburb instead of another iconic tourist spot, the Tower Bridge, let me tell you the price difference of these rooms are 3,000 Hong Kong dollars per night. And at 40th floor, when everything is shrank to the size of a miniature city model, I don't think the view justifies such a big price difference. That said, I found the room to be decent and reasonably well kept, except the doors, which look so dilapidated that doesn't look like a 5-star hotel. For the bathroom, I would think that it is the only place of the room that matches the wow factor of this iconic building, but ironically, because the structure is so transparent, you can actually look through the glass panel and watch people moving around in another room, so that means if you don't lower the curtains, you would be completely exposed to people living next door, so take note. For bathroom amenities, they have chosen Joe Love's, which are also considered a daring move for such a conservative hotel chain, as they tend to play safe by using brands like L'Occitane and other properties. This is a brand of Joe Malone. For part 2 of my stay, I've chosen a superior shop room, which is the most basic tier. This is kind of a studio flat, but it's spacious enough for solo travelers like me. One weakness of this room is the design was quite dim, but I'm fine with it as London was still in the middle of summer when I made my hotel vlogs, so sunset didn't happen until at least 8 p.m. Otherwise, this could be quite dim and gloomy. Overall, the rooms are decent and matches of Shangri-La standard, but with this price, especially after I've stayed in the Intercontinental at O2 for almost 40% of its price, I don't think the price is justified. For food, I've tried the breakfast during part 1 of my stay, which is typical buffet-style breakfast with choice of a la carte if you prefer. I have to tell you that located in busy tourist area like borough markets, there are plenty of better choices if you really wanted some decent breakfast. At an extra £48 per day, again I do not think the price justifies the quality unless you value quantity over quality. So for part 2 of my stay, I simply avoided the bed and breakfast package and chose to venture out to nearby area instead. The other catering service that I have tried is the in-room dining. I have ordered Malaysian-style fried rice, which is really good as I understand that they have hired a Malaysian chef to oversee Asian food. No wonder. In part 2 of my stay, I patronized a Ting restaurant, which served international cuisine including Asian and European food. The food was pretty decent and finally matches its Shangri-La standard. That said, had I not tried the food of Intercontinental, I would have said it's not bad. But once you have tasted the latter's food, I have to say again that it still had a long way to go. The only edge it had was the restaurant's facing off the iconic view, as well as the beautiful rendition of the lounge singer, which I took the trouble to praise her for singing her heart out. Okay, my viewers would know that I would mention fitness facilities after food. Another disappointment, as the gym is small with just a few strength training machines specialized at toning muscles instead of building new ones. As to the pool, it's relatively small and with so many rooms, guests should register at least 45 minutes before using it. Overall, I wouldn't say my stay in a Shangri-La hotel was a disappointment, especially after my Emerald High Park incident. But with its price, you have to convince yourself that almost 50% of its price is for the iconic views and the pride in living in one of the most iconic structures in the city. Other than that, I think that's just another Shangri-La property, which, like its sister hotels around the world, is a little bit old school and tired.